Gameweek 28 Roundup.
Let's do this!
The first match of Gameweek 28 pitted Nottingham Forest against Newcastle. Even though Newcastle had lost in the League Cup final just a couple weeks ago, they still have something to play for in Champions League football. After an early miss by Jacob Murphy, Emmanuel Dennis would put Forest ahead in the 26th minute after a Botman misplaced pass. Newcastle would get one back though in the 45th minute via an Alexander Isak well-placed strike to tie the two teams level at 1-1. Elliot Anderson would then have a goal disallowed due to offsides, but after some Niakate acting to try and persuade the ref to not give a penalty in the added time of the second half, Isak would then score the winning goal to give Newcastle a very important 3 points in the race for the Champions League.
Well, what's coming here, Dan?
What's this?
What's that called?
Right on cue.
In the first of the 11 a.m. Saturday kickoff games, Eastern Standard Time. For any Americans watching, it was a matchup between Unai Emery's Aston Villa and Gary O'Neill's Bournemouth. Coming off a huge win against Liverpool last week, Bournemouth had high hopes to secure another 3 points. However, Aston Villa dominated this one from the beginning, with an early Douglas Luiz tap-in from a Leon Bailey assist. Bournemouth would then get fortunate not to concede a penalty after Jacob Ramsey shot hit Stevens in the hands, but no penalty was given. Martinez would keep Villa ahead after a wonderful save to deny Philip Billings' free kick. Villa would then double their lead after Jacob Ramsey's shot beat net. Mings would then miss a sitter, but a Buendia header would seal Villa's win and see them gain a big 3 points at home. Also, this was Emiliano Martinez's first clean sheet against Bournemouth.
He wasn't ready for that pass.
The next of the 11 a.m. kickoff games would see Thomas Frank's Bees versus Brendan Rodgers' Foxes. For the Foxes, Daniel Iverson would make his Premier League debut, replacing the definitely not Premier League standard Daniel Wood. For both sides, it would be the Bees who take the lead via Matthias Jensen's strike from a Brentford corner. However, James Maddison would play a great pass into the path of Harvey Barnes, and Barnes would tie the game level at 1 apiece in the 52nd minute. A couple of chances for both sides after the equalizer, but neither team could find a breakthrough and would end 1-1.
Boring.
Next up was the matchup between Spurs and Southampton. A couple of decent chances for both sides, but it would be Spurs who took the lead in added time of the first half after Pedro Porro was left unmarked and beat the keeper with power. Southampton, however, would start the second half strong, with Theo Walcott finding Che Adams across the face of goal. This goal being Adams' first home goal of the season. Classic Tottenham. Spurs would then regain the lead through a Harry Kane header coming from a Kulusevski cross. Perisic would then put Spurs up by 2 goals via a well-taken strike. However, in typical Spurs fashion, this game was far from over. Surely Tottenham cannot blow this lead. Right?
Very false. Very false.
True.
No, very false. It's so false. It's very bad.
Theo Walcott would score just a few minutes later to cut the Saints' deficit to 1. Then, in the 90th minute, a very questionable penalty was given to the Saints through a Sarr foul. Ward-Prowse would then convert the penalty, and just like that, Tottenham dropped 2 points to a late Saints equalizer, hurting their chances for Champions League football. For our next matchup of the day, we had Wolves taking on Leeds. Both teams needing 3 points to increase their chances of staying up. In this 6-goal thriller, it'd be Leeds' Jack Harrison who would open the scoring in the 6th minute. Wolves would go on to create a good amount of chances but would fail to capitalize on them. A Lamina goal rolled out for all sides would be followed up by a free header at the back post for Luke Ayling, and that would increase Leeds' lead to 2. Christensen would then triple Leeds' lead after outmuscling a defender. However, Wolves would get a goal back after a questionable diving header from Meslier would be punished by a strike into an open net by Johnny. A Matthias Cunha deflected strike would then give Wolves hope and make an impressive comeback and cut Leeds' lead to 1. However, a horrific tackle by Johnny would see him shown red. Rodrigo would then kill any hopes of a Wolves comeback short, as he put Leeds back ahead by 2 goals, after a questionable no call on a foul by Leeds. Matthias Nunes would also be shown red from the Wolves bench. It was definitely a foul. For the last matchup on Saturday, Chelsea would take on Everton at Stamford Bridge. The LeBron James of soccer would get a start in this one.
He's like the phenom guy, right? He's like the LeBron James of soccer.
Definitely.
Kovacic thumper that could have killed somebody almost put Chelsea ahead in the early minutes of this one. After a stale first half of Potterball, Chelsea would take the lead in the 52nd minute via João Felix strike. However, a Decore header from an Everton corner would put both teams on level terms at 1 apiece. Chelsea would then regain their lead through a Havertz penalty. However, this game was far from over, as many Chelsea fans are used to at this point.
I want to know where I can go.
As Everton were not out of it yet. Ellis Sims would equalize in the 89th minute to rescue a huge point for the Toffees. Another disappointing week for the Blues. But hey, Blues, I know your pain as a Spurs fan.
Do you know Tottenham?
What?
Tottenham Hotspur?
Top spur?
No.
What's that?
You never heard of them?
No?
For the last match of the game week, the top of the league Gunners took on Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace. Arsenal, with a win, can go ahead 8 points clear of Man City at the top of the table. Crystal Palace would have the first real chance of the match as Zaha hits the post with a low-driven strike, but it bounces off of Ramsdale and goes out of the park. Arsenal would score first via Martinelli's strike. Saka would then double the Gunners' lead in the 43rd minute, beating the Palace goalkeeper with nice low-driven shot. Xhaka would then triple the Gunners' lead in the 55th minute. Jeffrey Schlupp would claw one back from a Palace corner, but Arsenal would put the nail in the coffin with a well-placed strike by Saka in the 74th minute. And Arsenal's title hopes increase with a dominant win over Palace.
And now, I'm telling you right now, we're going to win the Champions League! We're going to win! I'm telling you!
Also, poor Vieira got the sack after this game. So that wraps up Game Week 28. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.